So we're here for episode number 23.
I just saw that movie, the number 23, last night.
Was it any good?
Sucked.
Really?
There's like probably 24 films I could count off the top of my head that are better. It was okay.
All right, I'm here with my brother Tim Talbot, who I've known for many, many years, through many, many personalities, through many, many life chapters.
Yeah, 30, about 30 years now, I guess.
Was it? No, it hasn't.
I was like 27, 28 when I met you, so now I'm 53. In my book, that's 4 decades.
Okay.
Because my mother was an Andean mountain goat. They use, of course, the lunar calendar, so it's slightly different timing.
The loony calendar.
The lunar, when your mother's an Andean mountain goat, you
just call me a wiener?
You just go along with what she says.
Yeah, you do. You feed her 3 times a day.
You feed her and you milk her.
And you milk her. Hopefully only up until about like 4 years old, and then you drop that.
Yeah, I clipped the old umbilical just last year. It was tough. Yeah, but I finally got up the gumption to say enough, and then I off into the wild blue yonder on my little airplane, and yay, I'm free, and I wham, and crash into this fucking mountain. God, she's right. Fucking hate her for that. What?
You should see Mike and Dave, whatever it is, need wedding dates.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
I heard it's really funny.
It is funny. Yeah, it probably isn't young me's cup of tea. So, but if there's any,
I went and saw years ago. I saw. Have you ever like gone to like there's a film out that you've seen and you really like it? You think it's really funny, or it's really like whatever, thoughtful or great or whatever it is. And you tell a friend, and they're like, "Oh man, you gotta see this flick. I'll go again. I'll see it with you." And they're like, "Okay." And then you go, and it's like, it's almost impossible not to have this kind of like, it's like being set up on a blind date or something, It's almost impossible not to have some kind of like an expectation or something's going to happen or something. And like with the film, it's like, oh, it's so funny to do. So I took Celia years ago to see Something About Mary, which is not comedic genius by any means, but it's got really over-the-top funny shit, And they just, especially Matt Dillon kills me in that thing,
I forgot about him.
With his big teeth, and he goes like, "Hey, buddy, let me get another one. Yeah. Pay up, choppers, $2." Huge white teeth. Oh, fuck, he killed me, man. And that was one of those situations where I took her to see this film, and she didn't get it. It was kind of weird.
Well, it seems like there's an element of like, let's say we're in that scenario and I had seen the film, and there's an element of me waiting for you to get react what I got.
That way, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Which I think puts a weird energy into the whole thing.
Because she was really like, she did not find it amusing or humorous at all.
Wow. She didn't even like the music?
No, she's not a Jonathan Richman fan either.
Jeez. How can you not be a Jonathan Richman fan?
I mean, how can you kill a lobster and call it dinner?
Well, you have a boiling pot of water, and you...
how can you pull from the heavens a little cloud of rain and put that in your shoe, and then Something About Mary, one of my favorite parts. No, man, no! That nursery song about 6 squirrels twirling on a fence, man!
Oh, I remember that. The part that I remember is when he gets stuck in the zipper on prom night. Like, oh my God, if they show it, I will be over the top. They're not going to show it. They're not going to... And then they show it. Oh my God.
We got a bleeder. 1, 2. It's like, yeah, but how'd you get a little bit over the top and the bottom? That was awesome, man. That was fucking awesome. And then Chris Elliott, who, of course, is just
brilliant.
One of the most pure comedic idiots to ever step on stage or in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Because he's just no shame.
Right.
He's aware of how he looks, his appearance, and of course he thinks he's like second coming, like Clark Gable or something.
He plays it well.
It's fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Celia, it turns out that she's dying of pancreatic cancer.
That's not funny.
No, there's not a lot of fun in the old cancer ward. I had a week-long stint at St. Mary's, and let's face it, I killed him. I went up, I did my stuff, and I killed him. No, like literally, when I left, 3 people had died of the thing when I was trying to make them laugh. They laughed so hard they forced out these, these tubes and stuff. And, I don't know what's going on. I had to plug in the PA. I had to plug in the lights and the fog machine. The dancers, they got to have a cooler for their beverages, whatever, Bottles and James. So, I had to unplug a few things. And apparently, they were important, They kept them alive. What? It's a machine. That ain't life. This is life. Now sign. Yeah, compassion. I'm working on it, I'm working on it. I volunteer. I did a little volunteer work. Yeah.
For the SS.
Yes, for the organization, formerly known as the SS, now known as the Concerned Krauts, the KK.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like how you did that.
We're only missing 1 K. That's their motto.
Carrot a day keeps whoa, easy now.
Okay, good.
All right, so at this painful juncture in my life, what profound topic should we tackle, Tim Talbot? You see all those T's I threw in there?
I'm sorry, and you are?
Dead. Dead on arrival.
I'm sorry, what was the first question again? No, it's actually Timothy Talbot. And then you got 4 T's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4T. Reversed, 24 minus 1, you get 23. Again.
And that was a long time ago.
That movie was so stupid. It was like, look, Carrie's natural state, he's like a penguin. You know what I mean? You're not going to ask a fucking penguin to tie a message in the Civil War and tell him, fly to the north, like a passenger penguin. A carrier penguin. It ain't gonna happen. It's just not in its nature. It's like Jim Carrey being serious. It's like
he can do serious.
I respect it.
He can do.
But I want to see you do crazy, stupid, fucking off the wall shit.
Did you see the Sunshine Mind or whatever that one was?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was good. Also, the serious part, like the Truman Show, with his seriousness, I think, is what gave that movie such.
He never did confess his love for his friend, the handyman, played by your friend and mine, Dave Jackson. If memory serves.
Memory doesn't serve.
No.
It escapes.
I used to smoke a lot of weed and fucking tinfoil pipes, man. You remember what I was like. I got fucked up. It's been 15 years, but still running off the fumes. But I'd make pipes all the time out of tinfoil. It was like a pencil. Mm-hmm. And this really kind of cool little, you point it up at the end. It's like a little one-hitter, like Billy pipe kind of. You remember those? Billy pipes were big in high school in Redwood.
What's a Billy pipe?
In the 70s, the opium pipe, little one-hitter opium pipe that you get in Chinatown. It's something like tourists and shit.
Sounds like a San Francisco
thing. And Billy was little one-hitter pipe. So anyway, I smoked a lot of things through tin foil, and apparently that's like not good for your brain.
I think smoking in general is not good for your brain. Just like inhaling smoke. In fact, firemen say if you're in a fire in a house, go down to the floor so you inhale less smoke. And just throwing that out there. All right, so nice chandelier. I like that.
Thank you.
Is that real glass?
That's what I'm here for. Yes, I carved it myself out of a single block of glass. It was not easy.
Let me ask you this.
Nothing worth doing is.
As you're approaching 54, slowly,
thanks, Greg.
Do you retain dreams for a future?
As much as I retain fluids overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, actually. Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck it. I spent so much time. Celia's thing, we had a falling out. She was somebody that I consider that she saved my life twice. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, it was right after my brother had killed himself. I was like somewhere between freshman and sophomore year, and I was just, looking back, at the time I knew I was a mess too, But at the time, anybody that tried to help me, was like, I had the same answer. You're like, Tim, you're a smart kid. You're a good kid. What the heck's going on? What, what can we do? What can we do? You know what you can do? What? Go fuck yourself. You know, I mean, it was like everybody, like, just across the board. In fact, if people tried to help me, I kind of resented it in a way, and I'd like, oh, God, I just had to, like, everything was like an ordeal, and I got busted a lot. And this one time I'm in court, and my probation officer, this really nice woman named Kay Scott. And Kay was, she was just a good person. So we're in court, okay? I know what her, and I go, hey, how do you use the bathroom? Can I use the bathroom? And they go, yeah, okay. I'm a 14-year-old kid, I'm not worried. I'm not in custody or anything. I'm not going to ditch. So I go to the bathroom. As I go to the bathroom, I pass by her office door, and I go, God, her purse is under her desk, man. I could rip off her purse right now. They would never expect me to do something like that at this time. So I did. I did shit like that, man. I did shit like that all the time. Because I wanted it. The thrill was getting away with it, but the thrill was also sitting right next to the person you've done it to, and she had no idea. She had no idea. I see these therapist people, they'd send me to. Did the same thing. Because I thought the therapists were full of shit. I thought that therapy, the dream thing, getting back, it's kind of a big circle, but getting back, Celia was a person at that age who helped me because she believed in whatever talents or whatever it is that I thought I had. She nurtured it more than my own mother did, who, looking back now, she had 6 boys in 10 years, and 2 of them died before, within a span of 13 years. A 4-year-old drowned and a 23-year-old killed himself, And there we are, and I'm the youngest, and I'm like, I got that mentality, young and look at me thing, whatever, youngest mentality thing, psychologically, I've already got that. Now Pete's gone, and I'm just like, really look at me, like I stole a cop car, man. I stole. I just did so much shit. And people used to say, "Why are you doing the blah blah blah?" Booze and drugs were like my friend or my coping mechanism that helped me make it through, or make it not even so much as like, I've only had a hit of weed, everything would be great. It was just more like, I like being fucked up, because when I was fucked up, all this shit that I hadn't dealt with didn't really exist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I had huge dreams. When I was a kid, I used to watch the original Dick Van Dyke Show, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, whatever it was. Remember?
You wanted to be like a little footstool that people trip
I wanted
over?
to be a comedy. I'm like, wait a minute, you get paid to write comedy? Like, I thought, wow, what a great job. I thought that's the greatest fucking job, man. So I thought I wanted to be a comedy writer. I also wanted to be a paleontologist, because it's one of those really long words, and when you're like 7 and you say paleontologist, it's like, it's like when the 7-year-old going, I can run really fast. Watch. They always trip and what's wrong with you? Letting that boy run down the hill. And I'm like, fuck you, lady. But that's what you want in my family. Anyway, that's why I tend to blink a lot sometimes on this side. It's not that noticeable, right?
Nah.
I mean, this barely even registered, right?
All right.
Sure. No, but okay, so this is like, all right, so now I am a kid, man. I'm going to school in Sacramento, going to like 3rd grade.
Directing planes?
I'm in the back, because that's where you sat, and I'm Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog was a big hit song, and I remember singing it on the bus.
He was a good friend of mine.
I never understood what he said, but damn, it's a mighty fine wine. I'm like in the back singing it, man, getting everyone to sing along, my little buddies and shit. And then we moved to Marin. And there's always kind of like some kind of like thing. My dreams.
Thanks, Tag.
That's Tag. He's an artist. It's a slight adjustment he felt had to be made.
Yeah, he
Hello? Is that where the world lives? Hello? Rescue me.
All right.
Hello? Did I already say hello? Okay.
So,
and then I was dropped on my head. Speaks for
Marin.
itself.
Moved to Marin.
Yeah, we moved to Marin when I was going to 4th grade, when I was 9. And they wanted to jump me ahead a grade. Like, they wanted to put me from the 3rd into the 5th. And my brother Dan was in the 5th. And he's my big brother, man. There's no way I was going to be the same grade as Dan. And I loved Dan, and we were in this, we shared a room. We were 2 years apart. We were the two youngest. Because Sam died when he was 4. So my brothers, it was John in 52, Pete in 54, Matt in 55. That's one set of Irish triplets. Right? Because between 52 to 55, they had 3 kids. And then there was a second set of Irish triplets, which was Sam in 59, Dan in 60, and me in 62. But Sam died. So now it's like me and Dan as the little guys, and there's no like bridge, because Matt's the next oldest, and he's, 5 years older than Dan and 7 years older than me. So when I'm like, 7, that's 14, 15 years old. I mean, it's just, there's this huge break, and it really screwed everyone up. And then Peter killed himself, and I was like, oh, thanks, Pete. Wow, man, we needed that one. Looking back, it's you never get over that stuff. You just never get over it. What I realized it did, though, is it interfered with my ability to have faith and my ability to pursue my dreams, because I was so certain I would fail, or I was so certain something. I was always looking at the worst possible outcome in any situation, and by going into situations that way, I made them manifest. I made them occur. So then I could I'm pleasing this negative cycle. They see I did it again. I'm gonna fuck up. Oh well. We have a close mutual friend who is going through a very, unfortunately, garden variety, issue. Things are coming home to roost about booze and about whatever, Instead of like dealing with it straight, which is what, I was in and out of rehabs for fucking 10 years, man. I mean, smoking crack, it's like, well, I'm just a social crack smoker, really. What's the, it was just insane. I mean, when you finally get to that point where you're able to kind of flip it and look at it, to see yourself as others see you, to hear yourself as others hear you, without the built-in, totally subjective, I'm going to stay on the island no matter what, survivor mentality. You know what I mean? That's a basic, intrinsic human thing. You don't want to be the one that goes, I'm going to go out there and see what it's like. The idea of not getting fucked up for me on a daily basis was just something I just, it wasn't like in life when I commit suicide or something, because after Pete did his, found out what it did to everyone left behind. It's not fair. It's a really selfish thing. But I got high every fucking day, because after a while it becomes your identity. You identify so deeply with this negative type of, I'm screw up, I'm never going to be good enough or fast enough, or, whatever the fuck it is. It's a monster that feeds on itself. And the self is the issue. Sobriety is about stopping drinking and drugging. That's the basic thing that it's about. But what it really is something that makes you realize that I've been living my life afraid of what others are going to say or do. And when I think back over my life, like in high school, there were like girls, guys, whatever, there's situations where I didn't do something, because if I blew it, I would laugh at me or think I was a chump, right? So I just didn't do it. And it's like, you grow up, it's like, I'm not in high school anymore, man. At what point in my life am I going to say, everyone's fucking afraid, There's nothing wrong with that. It's normal. You push forward through it and see what happens. You embrace that unknown fear. And you see it for what it is. And what it is yourself that's been running the show and fucking tearing you apart and breaking you down, trying to stay in control. Because the more you go, oh fuck that, the more it's in control and saying, okay, I'm running the show here. And it's this vicious cycle. You get it's so normal. It's so normal to be high and drunk and whatever, that was my absolute identity. And dreams and things had a way of interfering with that identity. I wanted to travel Europe. I wanted to go to Mardi Gras. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. I didn't do any of it, because the reality was I had to work to make some money so I could afford to get high and drunk and pay this guy back and get, that endless cycle, And so the thing that I did to make me free and open-minded and accepting and loving and thoughtful and creative and all these wonderful things did the exact opposite in the long run, because it got me really small, and it got me in a really small little world with a small little circle of friends, and the phone wasn't ringing a lot, and I mean, I wasn't anyone that I wanted to hang out. It was just, but you're so deep that you feel sorry for yourself. And when people tell you they don't like you when you're drunk, or they tell man, I love you, bro, but you're drinking, man, you're kind of a dick, like whatever, shit like that. It's just like, fuck you, dude. You're no fucking cakewalk when you're fucked up. I gotta deal with your bullshit. Fuck you. You know what I mean? You find someone who's worse. You find people that are worse. And that way you can still have this illusion of like, I'm all right. I know what I'm doing, And what you're doing is just, all you're doing is feeding the beast. So the dreams I had and wanted to pursue, and was even helped with, getting back, Celia's ex-husband, Saul's aunt, was a very powerful man in Hollywood. He did some of the greatest films ever made, And I was in his office. I went out with Athena and her brother. I mean, I knew all of them really well, and I'm in his office because Celia thought, Saul's never discovered anyone. I think he should discover you. So she talks with him, and I go over to Berkeley, and I see Saul in his office. And me and Saul, I always wisecracks with Saul because he was a real crafty, funny, Jewish guy from Passaic, New Jersey. He's real old school, and he was funny, man. He was a funny guy. I don't know, as a father, apparently he left something to be desired, which is seems to be a running theme for pretty much everyone at some point or another, right? It's like you almost feel obligated. It's in the contract. I go, my dad's a dick, and I got to do it, He's actually a really nice guy, but I signed the contract that says I'm an American, and my therapist, they promised me that, that's what I had to do, whatever, right? So I'm there with Saul. I've got his fucking Oscar, dude. I mean, I've got the Oscar for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And it's heavy, they're heavy. And I'm holding the thing. It's like, Best Picture, 1976, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I was always around that stuff with Saul and with them, so I was really tripping. Saul calls some people down in LA, get some headshots done for me by a staff photographer. And all I had to do was go to LA and meet these people. And the rest would have been up to me at that point in my life. I wasn't the most reliable guy, to say the least. And it was like the day before I was going to go to LA, or no, Athena and I was going to be going with Athena down there because she was moving there too, or something was going on. And we were going to drive down. And like the night, 2 nights before, we got this huge fight because these punk rock guys she knew were coming down from Seattle. And there's these 3 guys, and the driver has like green, black punk rock teeth, and I was still like crazy about her at the time, and she's like fucking making out with the fucking guy, and I just saw red, but I didn't punch him, of course. I had a big drink. We were drinking Colt 45 on ice, topped off with Seagram 7. And 7-Up. Called it Death House Punch. We were drinking them all fucking day, sitting out by the pool. And now it's dark. It's 9, 10 o'clock, right? And Athena was wearing this like jumpsuit thing, and I'm just like, oops, basically just like throw the whole thing down her front. He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. Starts like hitting me, and then this other guy grabs me from behind. He's hitting me. I kind of like break free, and I just kind of like see her right there. And then the next thing I know, my hand is coming back, and she's flying backwards with this look on her face, like, I'm like, oh my God, I mean, my father never hit my mother. That is like totally verboten, right? It's like kicking a guy when he's down, man. You just don't do it. It's part of my innate code, and it was so shocking. I was so humiliated and angry. I'd been pursuing her for so many years, and for her to be yelling that she hated me, something just snapped, I have no excuse. I was really fucked up, and we were really young. And these guys grabbed me and beat that fucking shit out of me, man. Especially this one dude in the group. He was like this big, like 6'4" blonde guy. And he's got me under one of these kind of like, Marine Corps fucking death lock things. He's lifting me off the ground as they walk me out of the house, and these other 2 guys are punching me in the head. And I'm like, I can feel my toes just barely scraping, along the floor, and I can't breathe. He has cut off my windpipe completely. And they're saying shit like, say you're sorry, man. And I'm like, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm gonna fucking die here, man. These guys don't know. They're fucking choking me, man. Finally, the guy let go, shoves me in. Get the fuck out. And I'm like, that was she was my, oh God, the whole thing was just such a catastrophe. And so I went, walking down Magnolia Avenue at 3 a.m, whatever time it was, crying and shit. And get about down to like the old Green Beret, the Petrini's on Green Beret near Bon Air. And I'm like, fuck that, man. I turned around and go back. And I took a shit on the guy's hood. And I was like, oh sure, I'm gonna kill myself. And so I got this garden hose, and I was like underneath their like carport, and I tied it thing, tried to put it around my neck, and I leaned forward. It's a garden hose, I stretch out, and I wind up on the ground. Fuck. So I decided not to do that. But so the next day I was going to be going to LA to meet with all these people, and what I wound up doing instead, Celia gave me airfare to get to New York. And I moved to New York. I want to be as far away from California, Athena, all of it, as far in a place as diametrically opposed as possible. And that was Hell's Kitchen in 1984, 85, when it was still the Westies, and still a lot of drugs, a lot of transvestitutes. Times Square was all porn. And so I did. I lived out there for about 3-4 years, and Athena and I reconciled, and we're actually still friends. And now her mother is dying, Celia. And it's both my folks have died in the last 6-7 years. I kind of had an insight, but I had an experience with death in a family at a lot younger age than most people from Marin, probably, or anywhere, I guess, do. But, that negative thing that kept me from pursuing any dreams I had, or people would point out talents, or my personality, I don't know what it is, and they're like, dude, you ought to fucking do, and I'd be like, that was enough. Just that people realized what I could do if I ever got my shit together. Don't set your sights too high, do you? So that I just realized it's all every choice that leads me to a negative space. There's 2 ways to go. You can accept things, admit, face it, or you can deny it, say no fucking way, and fight it.
So when do you think
and the payoff isn't what it?
Because there are people who have pursued things beyond what an average human would say is wise. Let's say, I don't know.
An obsession for like a cause or
that's a possibility.
Or a dream or something,
right,
music
right. or creating
success,
something, right.
Yeah.
So when does one know that the pursuit is worthy, or...
You're asking the wrong guy, man. All I know is I had a dream once with Mick Jagger, okay? I swear to God. And we were fucking backstage, man. And the show's going, we can hear it. And we're like walking through the service tunnels and stuff, like backstage. Turns out, I had to take a leak. I'm like, well, you did, man. I'm like, I gotta take a fucking leak. You know where a bathroom is? He goes like, no, but I've got to take one too. I'm like, oh, cool, let's go find a fucking bathroom. So it's me and Mick Jagger looking for a bathroom, right? And we finally find a bathroom. We're like, finally, God. Go inside, and they were all pay toilets, and none of us had any change on us. So, like 25 cents to turn the thing. None of us had any money on us. And so he was sliding under the door in his stall, like, next to mine, and I'm sliding into the stall door of mine, side by side. We're just like cracking up. Because it's so, like, crazy,
Like a dream.
It's a dream, baby. But, that's impossible to know, man. I mean, each person is different. Each situation is different. I think the chances of fulfilling a dream, especially if they have an element to them of a certain type of vitality, of a physical ability to make this... to attain the height you dream of attaining, and then being able to stay there, because that's the real. I mean, that ties back in with my sober shit, which is just like getting sober is one thing, staying, that's the fucking hard part, man. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you're like an actor or a singer or a writer or whatever it is. There's always going to be another Rubicon to cross. There's always going to be another level that's going to validate not only to the world or the people you want to show or wrong, whatever it is that drives that motivating force. There's always going to be something that we have to work towards. The real problem with that type of a construction is that you're never satisfied. You're always, it's got to be something bigger, better, more.
Right.
And that's where our culture operates.
And
it's like, I've got this car, I've got this house, I got this woman, I got that dog, I got these pants, I got that watch, I got all this shit. See, and people are like, and I got to get more of it. Then they'll know, because it's, getting, the dream is the dream. We dream. I wanted to be a Beatle. When I was about 7, I realized that wasn't going to happen. I heard a guy one time talk about like dreams and talk about life, and he said, my life basically, I was driving through life with a El Camino, full of fucking horse shit in the back, and the little windows behind my head open, and I would just floor it, man. And every now and then something would happen, and I'd screech on the brakes, and all that shit would come flying into the cab, and I'd be like, oh fuck, I'm surrounded with this crap. Step on the gas, It all flies away. All right, I'm good, man. Something else happens, and that's how you live your life, And he said, so finally I got sober, man. I got all my shit together, man. I put it all in this big, cool pile, and I put a flag with my face on it, and I said, look, man, it's all my shit. I got it together, man. I got my shit together. It's right here. And people were like, dude, you're standing on a mountain of shit. Because getting it together is the easy part, really. It's getting rid of it. Resentment and justification for anger are incredibly damaging elements, especially when you're angry or resentful against someone who you think, for whatever reason, you're superior to. Because if you're superior to this person, then why the fuck do they bother you so much? It just kind of refutes the whole, I'm better than you type thing, or whatever it is that sets it in motion, losing a loved one to another person, or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, this is something culturally that we, as more or less Western Europeans, it's in our DNA, We're going to get back at you, I mean, I did that DNA thing at the fucking genealogy. I'm 82% Irish, Oh, really? What a shocker that was.
Did you? You did that too?
Yeah, spit in a cup. So I'm like 82% Irish. I'm 15% English. That was kind of neat. And so then the other 3 were 1% Iberian, which is Spain, 1% Caucasus Mountains, and 1%, I don't know, man, Zulu world or something. I forget what the other one was, but I remember it was the Caucasus and Iberia, and I thought, wow, man, you're talking about a real white man right here. Woo dogs. I got the DNA. But the truth, it's the underlying theme. If a person really takes the time to look at their life, whether it's looking over wreckage or looking over why things happened a certain way they did, why you took an avenue that you did, a path less traveled, or however you want to put it. When you get to that point where you're looking at this stuff, it's very difficult to not be subjective. It's that survivor instinct, man. You don't want to make yourself look bad or feel bad, so you'll lessen your impact. It wasn't me so much; it was them. It was them. And underneath all of it is this fear that I'm going to be. My innate fear, was that I would be exposed as a person who didn't know things quite often, who was really concerned and caught up with what perfect strangers thought of me. It was very important that people saw me a certain way. And even though all evidence to the contrary, like when I got out of my way and was just myself and just having fun or whatever, it was like, oh, that's what I want to be like all the time, And I couldn't because of the inconsistency of getting fucked up. the high was different every time. But the high fed itself, and the high fed the fear. So when it comes to dreams, for me personally, pursuing a dream, right next to it is fear. Fear. Just straight, stone cold fear. I'm going to be exposed as a charlatan. They're all going to realize I'm full of shit. No, what am I going to do? I got to stand up there in front of all these people and do this thing. It's like you're forgetting the fact that when you're in an audience and some person comes out on that stage, chances are you're not thinking, look at this fucking asshole, what a dumb shit. You're thinking, that guy's got a big set of fucking balls to get out on that stage, man, in front of all these people. You're rooting for that guy. That guy's the underdog. That guy's you, man. And if you can absorb that, and when for me as a performer or whatever, it makes things a lot easier. It makes it a lot more fun. Not just for but for me too. Because it's just kind of just winging it, man. Kind of like I am right now. Did you see the thing with Jay Adams in Lords of Dogtown or whatever it was? Not the film. What's the name of the fucking movie, man? He did Riding Giant, Stacey Peralta. Anyways, the skate flick was about the Zephyr Team. The Zephyr Team were like gods, man. And I had a buddy who had a green Zephyr with gold Road Rider shoes, man. Track. And then Tony Alba and Jay came up a couple of times during this punk club called the Tool and Die. And Tony picked up on Athena, I think it was. And I was like, well, it is Tony Alba. It's like, I can compete with that, brother, And Tony was a pretty notorious ass kicker anyways. Tony was not a guy you fucked around with. He didn't suffer fools gladly. But Jay, they were talking to Jay in the film, and now these guys are all older, now some are married, some are, whatever. To look at them, it's like looking at a guy in the grocery store who's bald and has like a silver thing and glasses. That guy was natural Jason at Woodstock. He took more acid than anybody, you know what I mean? But everyone ages. And we look at things on the surface level and say, the old guy doesn't know. I was at a freaking Starbucks, man. The girls said, I'm really sorry, caramel, not fat, whatever the fuck. And I said, I don't know, I'm not tripping. She was like, oh my God, did you say I'm not tripping? Sir!
Did she say so?
No, but she might as well. And I'm like, little twinkle toe, whatever your name is, you little hippie trippy. I invented tripping, okay? Me and my people went to the army in the desert with an armadillo, a bowling ball, and 3 gallons of 7-Up.
Like you were just talking earlier about judging and worried about what people think about you.
This is for everyone else, not for me.
And don't you think like possibly you jumped to a conclusion there where she, said tripping and you took it as an affront, but maybe she was just like, well, that's cool. Or,
no, she was, you could tell. And I wasn't that upset. I wasn't like, pissed or anything. I was just kind of like amused, like, God, I am older than I, it was one of those things like, you forget how you look. You look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm a gray-haired guy. I've got lines on my face, I've got scars, and my nose has been busted. Oh, yeah. Because in our minds, it's kind of a setup. Life is a setup. They set us up to fail in things that we're told we should succeed in. And when we don't succeed in those things, then it just proves to us that they were right.
Who's the they, though?
I'm talking about like when I was a kid, all I knew was my dad and all my dad's, everyone's dad. They had a briefcase, they had a suit, they went into the fucking office. God knows what they did, but that's what they did. And they came back. They had their martinis, and they yelled at the TV and fell asleep on the sofa and, pinch Aunt Margaret's ass at the fucking picnic or, whatever the fuck, right? I don't have an Aunt Margaret, by the way. But so, it's like, this, because for me, it was just, I had no idea how you got there. I had no idea how you wound up in the suit with the briefcase. It was like something that was going to happen as a rite of passage or another ring in the circle of life or, whatever the fuck. That one day I was going to wake up, I was going to be a grown man. I'd have to shave, and I'd wear a suit, and I'd go into an office. As we got older, being the very tail end of the baby boomers, 1980, we graduated high school. And shit was changing, man. The punk thing had happened. We'd had the recession. There was a lot of doubt and shit. And then Reagan comes riding in on a white fucking donkey with a flag. And, this utterly absurd. That's when the turn a blind eye to reality Republican thing kind of started kicking in, because it was all about, you're negative. You want to hug a tree? Go ahead. I'm gonna hug a Playboy model in my Lamborghini. Great. Hopefully, you'll be staring at her tits and you won't see that tree that you ran into and die. But I'm judging there, and I probably shouldn't. But so it's like, so the setup in a way culturally is that you, as a white male, you will attain these things. These things are talismans of success, talismans of society's approval, talismans that prove to yourself, as well as anybody around, stranger or not, that you are a person of means, that you're a person of a certain standing, And based on that, it's like the guy with the Lamborghini or whatever. These are all the things they just force feed that shit. You got kids, man. You go through the supermarket, all the sugary, shitty fucking cereal is at this level, because little 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds are at that level. They want to load them up with all the sugar and crap, And now they're reaping the benefit, aren't they? Because we're 2/3 of obese or whatever, I want to get into that. But, it's like, the setup is that, you will look a certain way, you will be a certain way, you will have a certain thing, and you will be goddamn motherfucking happy, because you're a fucking American motherfucker. So help me God, you're going to be happy. I'm going to fucking kill you with my right to bear arms. They conveniently fucking overlook the fact that, the Second Amendment was put in 1789, when there was nothing west of the Allegheny River, man. If you didn't have a fucking gun, you were fucked. There was people that lived there that had been living there for thousands of years, didn't really like you showing up. There was animals that you had to kill because there was no 7-Eleven. It's like on and on and on. And the state militia, because of the way that what had happened in the... Firstly, the 7 years were the French and Indian War, and then later on, French Indian War is like the last of the Mohicans. That's like, that kind of set the tone. But Washington was in that war as an English officer, because he was loyal to England. We were Americans. We were English. And they learned a lot, and they got treated secondhand, like Gallipoli, I suppose, in an earlier time. The Aussies got treated by the English. And when we decided that we weren't going to, put up with this kind of heavy-handed abuse, and they did the most treasonous, they would have been hung and quartered, man, at the Tower of London. Ben Franklin, all of them, Hancock, Jefferson, all of them, Washington especially. But they all kind of set this thing that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get where I need to be, and I'm going to be happy, right? And I'm going to have my fucking gun. God, nor George fucking Jefferson, Washington, Franklin, the fucking Hancock Fifth didn't want you to have a fucking automatic fucking 400 round death dealing fucking submachine gun thing, AK, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
To hunt? Why do you need that gun?
Those are just tools. If we don't take care of the...
You're a tool.
If we don't take care of the psychology or the character of a human being that chooses to take that tool and do with it what they will...
Well... Yeah.
Look what just happened in France. There was no gun involved. No,
I know that. What I'm talking about is just how, it kind of ties in. It's just part of that kind of backbone attitude of what a real American is. And what a real American is somebody that stands up for something he believes in against the popular tide of opinion. Because that takes real courage, and to, pardon the pun, stick to your guns. As it were. I mean...
But that kind of goes back to that earlier thing, where's the fine line? When is sticking to your guns local?
What have you delved into obsession? Oh, God, there's a... It was a film I saw with Dennis Quaid, who's not my favorite actor, but, whatever, he's utilitarian.
He does great when he does great.
And he's perfectly fine.
He was great in that movie about the pitcher.
Yeah, he was. Young me loves that film. He was in a film I think it was called Tough Enough. It was about the Tough Man boxing competitions. These things in bars are called Tough Man. You'd sign up. Right.
bare knuckle fight.
It might be anyone in there against you, you know.
Right.
A couple of guys, a guy named Greg Haugen became a pro fighter, and he did pretty well. Beat Vinny Pazienza once or twice. But Quaid plays this guy who's like a country singer, and he's got a wife and struggling to get by, and he signs up for this thing, and kind of a joke, and he wins. You know, he wins. Finally, he gets to the final championship match, and this guy against him is like a fucking monster, man, and he knows how to box, and he's just twice his size. And Quaid, he's like going into the thing, and in his mind, he can hear this song, you know? You can hear this song in his head, and he can't quite get it, you know? There's like this one, the hook, like, deeter down. It's like, what it wham, and he gets hit. And so, like, they think that he's, you know, his wife is like crying and screaming, and as the rounds go by, and he's going, no, I'm fine. He's just getting his ass kicked, and they think he's like brain damaged. He's just like sitting there, this look on his face, you know, he keeps getting plowed, like trying to get this song, you know. And when he finally gets the song, he's like, you know, it's a wonderful construct, you know, the film and all that time, it's just wonderful. When he finally gets to that point where he understands, he knows what the song is. He goes, I got it! Wham! The guy just like levels his ass, and the wife thinks he's dead, and the trainer, like, oh my god! And he gets up off the canvas and he just kicks the fucking shit out of this guy because he's just free, you know. And it was like, you talk about the obsession. So he's like, you know, that movie dealt directly in a really direct and visceral way. Obsession. He's obsessed with this song. Damn it, I gotta get it. The only way I can get it is keep getting punched in the, you know. There's like, I've been in fights where it's like, and I've heard fighters talk about fights where it's like, you get hit the first time and you're fucking, I mean, I've actually seen like 4 cartoon stars, like General Patton, right in front of my eyes, man. I swear to God. It was like, whoa, you know. And then you get hit again and it kind of like snaps you back to reality, you know? And then after the fight, regardless of who won, I don't know, it's like nowadays kids shoot each other for wearing the wrong shoes, you know? Suckers. And, you know, because Phil Knight's laughing all the way to the fucking mausoleum that's shaped like a Nike tennis shoe. Go figure. Classic guy. It's underneath Hayward Field. He built a big tomb down there. But so these guys, they, the kids do that thing. I mean, in the old days, it was like you'd fight and you kind of were buddies afterwards. You respected that guy. He respected you. Every fight I was ever in, it was.
It sounds like a generalization.
Every fight I was ever in, I was in a few, was because I was a fucking loudmouthed wise ass who was like skinny and teach me a lesson, man. I didn't win every fight I was in, but I always got some licks in, and every time I was in a fight afterwards, I respected the guy more, and even admired him. It was the same. It was like this like gladiator war thing. I don't know. It's like a weird element that you can't get any other way. You know. That being said, I haven't fought in many decades, and hopefully I never will again because it really hurts. It's not like a film, man.
Like a movie.
These are bones, and these are bones. They really hurt when they connect with each other. It's like it fucking hurts, man. I'm gonna have my nose fixed now.
So are you pursuing a dream
Joe McCarthy
currently in your life right now?
What?
Are you pursuing a dream?
That's my little
actively?
thing that you can't notice, right? It's pretty subtle. When I landed on my face all those hours ago, whenever I started talking. Yeah, well, we bought a store actually because you know it was kind of getting to this thing where it was like, yeah, 53, man, you know, and yeah, what do you do when you grow up? You know, it was like I dropped out of high school. Went to college 30 years later. I was in the dean's. In high school, my GPA was, you know, and back then in those days, I don't know, it was like you guys went to Fremont or something, right? Hayward. There was like thousands and thousands of kids in school. There was like close to 4,000 kids at Redwood. Right. There were so many kids that if you failed, you didn't get held back. They didn't have room. You had to go forward. Because it was like, hey, man, you may not have passed, but fuck you can't stick around here, man. Get the fuck out, you know? We got other kids coming in. And between my brother's death and being very short for my size and very insecure about all that shit and all that confusion and anger and pain, I wound up cumulatively. I was in juvenile hall for stealing a car. And I was in there for about like 5-6 months. And I got emancipated. I was 17. Got emancipated and took the GED. Because my grade point average at that time in 4 years of high school, and we went by the 25, 2 semesters a year, 25, 5 classes, 5 units each, 5 credits, 25, 25, 50. So 50 freshmen, 50 as a sophomore, 200 to graduate. Going into my senior year, I had 15 credits, and my grade point average was 0.8. It was like, I wasn't going to make it, you know? And part of it was that thing of like, why are you doing this? Fuck yeah, that's why I'm doing it. You know, I was always testing with all these, teachers are always trying to do shit to like show off and say, look what he can do, you know, when you're like the 3rd grade or something. And I just like to read, man. I just always like to read, you know, and I liked being smart. I loved my brother so much, my brother Dan, that I kind of dumbed it down a little bit, you know, just because I didn't want to outshine him.
He's gonna love hearing that.
You know, but Dan was gifted in so many ways that I wasn't, man. I mean, like his idea of a good time, you know, he can like take a hub and a box of spokes and a rim, and without like a clamp and this tool and that tool, just kind of put it together. So it's perfectly true. You know, chess. He's very good at chess. I mean, he's got this kind of a straightforward, no nonsense kind of way of doing things that I don't. It's either Quicksilver or nothing, man. You know. I mean, but Dan has got these elements in his personality that are really admirable, that I've always admired very much about him. And my gifts were things that just, you know, I don't know, people can't always keep up, you know? So you got to kind of tone it down every now and then, you know? But the dream thing, getting back to the dream thing and the overriding fear, we were talking about fighting. I was talking about the fighting thing as a way of, oh, right, when you get to that point where it turns into something that's unhealthy, perhaps. I think that every obsessive dream or desire is unhealthy. But there's unhealthy in a positive way and in a negative way. If your unhealthy obsession is to help children in poor nations drink purified water, then that's a good obsession. It's kind of sick, and you're like, but that's a good one. If your thing is like, I'm going to bring in enough fucking black tar heroin to get the whole eastern seaboard hooked, you know, that's a negative obsession. As far as people like you and me, like run of the, you know, just regular guys, more or less, you know, out of a nation of hundreds of millions of people. Yeah, I was obsessed with a girl, you know, and it didn't work out. And it was very difficult to let it go. And eventually what occurred to me was that I claimed to love her, that she was the one, that I had to be with her, that she was my soulmate, I gotta be, you know, I'm in love. But she didn't feel that way in return, apparently, because she went out with all kinds of fucking guys, you know, and it just killed me. And I realized it's like, if, you know, what is love, right? It's the ancient. Love is whatever love is to the individual, you know, whatever that means to the individual. That's what love is. You can't necessarily explain it, but you know it when you're in it, and you know it when you feel it, you know it. It's an innate human trait, you know, it's one of the special elements that make us, you know, the opposable thumb and the hypothalamus and all that shit separates us from the monkeys, you know, the gibbon and the orangutan. But so I thought to myself, I love her. And to me, love means wanting the person, the object of my love, to be happy, you know? Mm-hmm. And if her being happy meant me getting the fuck out of the picture, well, then I had to respect that. Or I didn't love her at all. I loved the whole chase and the drama and all the crazy shit, you know, because it fed in that shit cycle of like, you know, I keep eating a shit sandwich and it just keeps tasting like shit. What the fuck's going on around here, you know? It's like, oh, you are eating a shit sandwich, bro. You know, Baron von Einstein. So, you know, that was like, it was kind of like a, not quite an aha moment, you know. But it was definitely, I mean, I remember it very vividly. I remember thinking, oh, right. Me insisting and trying to make things happen and pursuing and, you know, like, that ain't getting it done, man, you know? And if you really love her, and if you think love really means her being happy, well then, you gotta fucking hit the bricks, man, you know? and that was a tough one, you know, as far as like performing dreams and things like that. I mean, I was always a performer, I think, you know, and I just never performed. You know, I got in the band in Mill Valley, circumstances. I would never pursue it personally because I was too afraid of failing. I didn't want to put up the effort. Just in case, you know, I can extrapolate to the worst possible thing. 1,000 people in a room, 999 laughing, one guy isn't, and he's the only one I notice. You know, that kind of shit that keying in, and you know, I just wouldn't take the risk. The few times I did go on stage, like comedy and stuff, I bombed so badly because I was so unprepared. You know, for how ruthless and cutthroat and fucking tooth and nail it is to climb that ladder, man, you know. And, you know, everyone says it when they make it, you know, but everyone who hasn't made it or dreams of it thinks, well, it's not going to happen to me. You know, I'm going to do this heroin, I can overdose. That happens to someone else, you know. Same thing with, you know, well, sure, there's literally millions of people every day decide to go to Hollywood to be a star, you know. So there's so many fucking porn movies down there. There's all these morons shut up. It's like, you don't have any talent, but you look good with a dick in your mouth. Now, can you kind of like just stay like that just for, you know? It's like, fuck. You know, I had this guy, man. I'm like driving on the scooter, you know, and I'm in the city, and I'm like, I can go between, you know, screw these fuckers. You know, go between the cars and stuff, you know? It's legal. Well, it's kind of legal. So I'm like doing my thing. Some guy on a motorcycle is like full leathers, face, like, you know, Buster Posey. He's got all this fucking protective gear and shit. And he's like he's on a motorcycle, you know. I'm wearing a helmet. I got my sunglasses on. He probably thinks I'm some 22-year-old trust fund twit going to $60,000 a semester at fucking Academy of Art to get a degree that means I'll be able to flip burgers better at McDonald's, you know. I'll make an artistic palette out of the burgers themselves. Yeah, that's what fucking happens. But then I'm doing my thing, and I get there, and he goes like, and the guy, like, you know, I don't look at people when I'm, you know, I'm not looking in the rear view to see if it's a chick or, you know, whatever. I just don't look. I take my mirror, you know, you can do the nighttime thing, and I just do that. Fuck them, man. I'm not out there, you know, to follow the law, do the thing. I'm not out there to get into it with anyone, because I have in the past. It's not fun. It's really dangerous too. So this guy, he like pulls up next to me. We're at the Van Ness and Turk or Ellis or something like that. And I realize he's talking to me, you know. Hey, man. I'm like, yeah? And he goes, the fuck's wrong with you, man? And I go, what? You make us all look bad driving like that, man. I go, bro, when I want to hear from you, I'll take my fucking dick out of your mouth, okay? He didn't like that.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything. What the fuck is he going to do? You know?
Get off his motorcycle and hit you.
I'm wearing a helmet. Go ahead, man. Take a swing, you know? It's like, I've wanted to say that to someone for so many years, and I finally did. It was awesome. Wasn't expecting that from a little scooter boy.
I think we're done. Enough?
So I can keep going. I don't know if you can tell. I got plenty of material.
Is there anything else that you would want to talk about?
Well, you know, actually, to be serious, you know, and I've always, you know, I enjoy laughing and I enjoy making people laugh. You know, we've known each other a very long time, and that was pretty much the foundation of, you know, liking each other and being friends, becoming brothers. You know, there for each other when you're good times and bad. You know, and it's, you know, we touched on how men, American men, white men, have this certain onus that they have to, or that, you know, it's an old thing,
Paradigm,
that we're trying to drag into a new world that's now right here in the palm of my hand. And screw you, because I'm more busy. I'm talking to someone in Beijing.
Speaking of that, have you installed Pokemon Go?
Oh, I just avoid all that crap like the plague. Yeah. There was like a sign that said Pokemon Go here, and like stuffed in the garbage can. I was making it really tough. You know, the thing doesn't exist. It's supposed to be here.
So you
I don't understand it. But what I was going to say is that when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, having a friend, having someone that you know and trust, that you can talk to and that you can spend time with, is the most valuable thing on the planet, because real friends don't happen overnight. It's a big risk, you know. It's that risk of like, you know, you're not telling I love you, but it's like with a girl that you're into, you know, like, you know, you're gonna take this risk. I'm gonna say I love you, and if she doesn't say it in return, then I'm like, I love your shoes. You know, did I say you? I meant your sheep. You. It's a female sheep. That's what I meant. Is that why you wear Wellingtons, so you can put their back legs in there and trap them when you do your... Well, yes, it is actually. That's another thing altogether. But I've always admired how you rose above the incredible power of Mike's personality. You know, the attractiveness of Mike's personality when Mike was young and riding high and everything was still possible, I guess. And I've heard various things about Mike. I hope he's okay, because he's one of the truly most brilliant and creative people. He's just an amazing guy. But he's his own worst enemy too, for sure. But he's got to figure that out himself. But you know, I'm really glad you're my friend, because I got someone I can talk to when I need to talk to him. You know what I mean? And you're real, and I can say shit like, you know, I don't talk to you, don't take my dick out of your mouth, you know, shit like that. And the next breath, I can say, you know, I love you, man, because you're my brother, and I know and trust you. You know, that's something you can't put a price on, man. Fear will keep those types of relationships and those types of things from occurring. You know, as we manifest the negative without realizing we are, through our attitude of like, and it's so innocuous, right? Walk in the kitchen, dirty dishes, like, fuck, I want to do the dishes. You know, garbage, yeah, I want to do garbage. Take the dog out, I don't take my dog. You know, and then before you've even gotten out of the house, you're like already just going, fuck, the world sucks, man. You know, it's kind of like the dishes are going to probably be there tomorrow and probably down the weeks and months of your life. Who knows? You know, sometimes you wash them, sometimes you don't. But bitching about it and getting all caught up and using that as a justification or a springboard for you to be negative and unhappy, that's just crazy, man. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. You know? But you got to see it for what it is. Yeah. You know, you're going through a situation right now. I do not envy you, the situation you're going through. I will say that. I also know that if there's anyone that can come through it and have a greater understanding and depth of self and all, it's you, man. You know, because you grow from these things, bro. You know what I mean? You don't sink. You know?
Well, we'll find out.
You're back with old Candyland there.
I guess that one sunk him. You know, they say what doesn't kill... Oh, that one got him.
I tried to kill myself last night. I put my head in the oven, but then I realized in the morning it was a dishwasher.
I'd use an oven. It's heritage.
For you, not me. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful